What's up, guys? This is John with The Makers, and today we're talking coffee. Millions of people around the world start their morning off with a cup of joe, but how many of us actually know the difference between each drink on a sometimes very overwhelming menu? Today, we're going to be breaking down some of the most popular drinks that you can find in the majority of coffee shops around the country. Let's go. Regardless of how you make your coffee, each cup starts with the type of coffee bean that you choose to use. There are so many variables that can have a dramatic effect on the overall flavor of each bean, such as the region where the bean is grown, the type of farming technique that's used, and how the beans are roasted. At the end of each day, many coffee roasters will categorize their coffee beans as either being single origin, blended, or flavored. Single origin coffee beans come from a particular area of the world. Since climates, farming techniques, and harvesting styles can vary between each region, each coffee bean will have its own unique flavor. For instance, a single origin bean from, say, Costa Rica can be mildly acidic with sweeter flavor notes such as honey, grapes, and citrus, while a single origin bean from, say, Ethiopia can tend to be more acidic, are light to medium bodied, and have flavor notes such as bourbon, chocolate, and berries. All that being said, the season when the beans were planted and harvested can have a big effect on the consistency of the flavor, even if the beans came from the same field. To combat this, roasters will create something called blended bags of coffee. This technique utilizes beans from different regions to create a unique, consistent flavor all year round. The last classification of coffee bean is flavored. Flavored coffee is similar to blended bags in the fact that they can have a variety of different beans in them. What sets them apart, though, is that near the end of the roasting process, a particular flavor is added to give the coffee a very distinct taste. Many people love flavored coffee beans because you get the flavors such as French vanilla, hazelnut, caramel, snickerdoodle, without all the sugar that comes with adding syrups and sauces to your drink. Now that we know what makes each coffee bean unique, let's get into how to brew them. So how do we turn a fully roasted coffee bean into the perfect cup of joe? Well, an infinite number of ways. But today, I'm just going to focus on what I consider to be the three most popular techniques: pour over, cold brew, and espresso. Pour over coffee, otherwise known as drip coffee, is by far one of the oldest, simplest, fastest, and cheapest ways to brew your coffee at home. With this method, hot water is poured evenly over medium or coarsely ground coffee beans in a paper filter. Using gravity, the coffee then drips slowly and directly into your cup or pot. Most people use a modern coffee maker to accomplish this task. However, those who want to get a superior cup of coffee enjoy using a manual pour-over setup to ensure that all the grounds are evenly soaked. This helps to give the final brew a smooth, full-body flavor by preventing excess water from diluting the coffee by seeping through the overly saturated grounds. Cold brew coffee is its own unique technique, and no, it's not just refrigerated drip coffee. The process of making a good, high-quality cold brew is not difficult, but it does take some time. The first step is to coarsely grind your coffee beans. Those grounds are then placed in a paper filter. We then take room temperature water and evenly saturate all the grounds in the filter. Once all the grounds have been soaked, we add the remainder of the water to the cold brew and allow it to steep anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, depending on how much coffee you're trying to make. The finished product creates what we call a coffee concentrate. Many people find this concentrate to be much smoother than drip or espresso type of coffee. This is because using cooler water to brew the coffee makes the final product much less acidic. That being said, the concentrate is still very strong and can be diluted using milk or water, depending on your preference. The final brewing technique we're going to talk about is espresso. The first step in making your espresso is to finely grind your coffee beans into a device called a portafilter. We then tightly pack these grounds into the filter by tamping them down. The next step is what really sets the espresso apart from other brewing styles. Instead of using gravity and allowing the coffee to drip into a cup, we utilize a machine sending almost boiling water through the coffee puck under direct pressure to pull what we call an espresso shot. The combination of the extremely hot water and the pressure at which it goes through the puck creates a very bold flavor. Although some people enjoy sipping on the strong 1 to 2 ounces of espresso, many people prefer to add milk, syrups, and sauces to create what we call specialty coffee. Cappuccino, latte, Americano. Seeing these words on a menu can be extremely anxiety-producing, especially when you don't know what they mean. So let's break them down and make them a little less mysterious. As far as specialty coffee goes, you can't get more basic than an Americano. Having a cup filled with 1/3 espresso and 2/3 hot water, Americanos are traditionally known for being served very hot and very strong. Most people who order this type of drink are looking for something much bolder than your average drip coffee. Lattes are by far one of the most popular drinks on a coffee shop menu. In English, latte simply translates to steamed milk, which is the ingredient that makes up the majority of this specialty coffee. We start by pulling a 1 to 2 ounce shot of espresso. We then pour cold milk into a frothing pitcher and use the steam to heat up and aerate the liquid. This process creates a milk that is rich and silky that is then poured over your espresso. Some people prefer just drinking lattes in their basic form, but others like to get extremely creative by adding flavors, sauces, syrups, and toppings to their drink. What sets cappuccinos apart from their latte counterparts is the ratio of espresso to steamed milk and the utilization of foam. Cappuccinos are made by first starting with 1 to 2 ounces of espresso. We then pour cold milk into a frothing pitcher to inject steam. However, when making a cappuccino, we want the milk to be heavier and thicker. We also want to get a nice foamed head to top off the drink. Because the milk is thicker and has foam, it doesn't mix into the espresso as much as latte milk would. Thus, cappuccinos end up being a little bolder in espresso flavor than lattes. And that's it. Now you know the basics of what goes into a variety of coffee drinks that you can find at a typical cafe. Whether you like your brew bold and traditional or dressed up and flavored, there's a cup of coffee out there for everyone. Don't be afraid to branch out and try new things. Thanks for checking out this coffee breakdown. You can actually purchase a variety of products and coffee beans directly from our website linked in the description below. And hey, if you like content like this and want to see more, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.